what is flow and how does it feel as an experience? I think the best way to put flow, if I had to put it into one word, I'd say flow equals effortlessness. Okay? Flow feels absolutely effortless. It's a state where time no longer exists as a concept. It feels sort of like dreaming. If you've ever been in a dream, which I'm sure everyone has, you know that in a dream you never really think about time. Time is not a reality in the dream state. Another good way to put this is, if you've ever caught a wave on a surfboard, if you've ever been surfing, it feels like that moment when you're right on top of the wave, just cruising smoothly along and just letting the wave do its thing. You're not actually putting any kind of effort into the surfing in that moment when you're on top of the wave. If you're doing it right, it would feel buttery, it would feel effortless, it would feel just like nature is doing its own thing. You're not putting in the work at that point. So when you access flow, you are at your happiest. You feel completely fulfilled and content with the present moment. You could die then and there. That's how amazing it feels. It feels like I could just die. I could just let go right now and be completely content with my life. Flow feels like you access the mind you had as a child, yet you possess all the wisdom from your later years. You know that feeling you had as a kid? You know those lazy summer days you had nothing to do and you were just laying around, really just in the moment. And whatever you decided to do, you really did it. There was no second guessing yourself, should I be doing this or should I be working on this, blah, 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 blah. No, you kind of did whatever you chose to do wholeheartedly. You weren't stuck in your head as much. That's what flow feels like. Flow feels like a coming together, a reuniting with your true self. Flow is the absence of mind, chatter, monkey mind, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't exist in flow. Flow involves unshakable focus. You cannot be stopped when you're in flow. You will tune out all the chaos around you and just be present with whatever you're doing. So you might go into a coffee shop and you can hear all kinds of sounds, the rattling of the coffee machines, people talking left, right, and center, but still, you can tune all that out and just focus on the work you're doing. Flow feels authentic. I think that's one of my favorite parts about flow. It feels like you're expressing truth. It feels like whatever you create in flow, it will turn out to just be gold. Because it's coming from your deepest heart. And so therefore, whatever you create, whatever comes out of your deepest heart, it really doesn't matter at that point whether or not other people will accept that gift, because all that matters is it came from you. And so even if nobody sees the beauty of your work, you're still going to be content and happy, because that was your authentic expression. And that in itself is the greatest joy. Being able to materialize and make physical that which was before an inexpressible aspect of you. Flow is the absence of fear. Flow feels pure. It just feels like you found the gateway to infinite creativity. And when you're in infinite creativity, that means it's infinite. That means you get bucket loads of creativity just delivered to you on the spot. And all you gotta do is just serve as a vessel, serve as an outlet, right? Serve as a conductor of that creative energy. You really aren't involved in your deepest work. That's what every creative knows. Your greatest ideas never really came from you. They came from that infinite intelligence that is your true self. Flow is always accessible. It's what's running the show 24/7. Okay, flow is at the back here, always present. You can always access flow. You can always get there. All you gotta do is remember that you can. Because when you're in flow, you're like, of course, I could be in this state for 24/7. But then you forget that that's possible. Because your mind tangles in, and then you start to overthink things, and then all of a sudden you're out of flow. And then you wonder, how the hell do I get back to flow? I love flow. Flow is awesome. I wish I could be there again. But what you're forgetting there is that very insecure, that very stress of not being in flow is what's preventing you from being in flow. Accept the moment completely and jump into the wave, jump into the wave of whatever life is taking you towards, and then just go. You go in and you just let it happen, and then all of a sudden you're in flow. Just like it's surfing, right? If you keep waiting and waiting and waiting, when will I get to surf? When will I get to be on this wave? You'll never get on the wave, and you'll never ever surf.